Many thanks for staying with us. This is still Politics HQ on News Central Television. Now, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has raised its pump price of petrol in the country, particularly in places like Abuja, for instance, by 14.8% to 1,030 naira per litre from 897 naira. Now, this latest price increase makes it the second time the petrol price has been hiked in the past month. The company had in September increased pump price from 615 naira per litre to 897 naira. All NNPC filling stations have adjusted their meter to reflect this development, days after the recently privatized oil company dumped the middleman role between Dangote Refinery and the market. Now, in an official statement, NNPCL decided to terminate its exclusive purchase agreement with Dangote Refinery amidst unsettling pricing issues. The move effectively stopped NNPC to be the off-taker, and marketers can now negotiate prices directly with the Dangote Refinery. Now, joining me at this time on the program to discuss this is Mr. Olabode Sowunmi, is the chairman of the Energy Transition Study Group, NGA. He joins virtually. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you. Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. Now, this issue again, I mean, this is for many Nigerians one too many in the shortest time. The price before now was 600, just a bit above 600, and then it moved, when the Dangote Refinery commenced operation, Nigerians thinking, okay, this will be some sort of rebate, but it jumped up to 800 plus. And right now, Nigerians are getting it 1,000 plus across the nation. What is going on?
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Thanks for the time. I think first and fundamentally, it is important to understand that the product has been, the subsidy on the product has been removed. The implication of that is that all the normal forces of demand and supply that affect the pricing are starting to affect, that affect the pricing will now start to reflect to the people. But it is for NNPC to answer the exact reason why the prices are being increased. But from the analysis and from the facts that are available is that there has been a difference in the dollar exchange to the naira from what was available around about a month ago, which was at about 1,005 to the dollar, which is now about 1,650, about 1,007. I think that is what is being reflected by NNPC. And the truth of the matter is that as long as there are fluctuations in the dollar exchange to the naira, there will continue to be increase or decrease in the price as the issues may be. So issues of naira to dollar fluctuation are not energy issues. They are purely financial and economic issues. But of course, they have this impact on the industry.
All right. You talk about the naira to the dollar and exchange rates and all of that. But before now, the narrative around this was, the landing cost of this product was a major issue, that maybe if Nigeria had the capacity in any way to refine it locally, it should bring the cost at the pumps significantly down. Right now, Nigeria, at least even though it's privately owned, can boast of a refinery, a world-class refinery, of international capacity. But they are buying it at premium rate. So Nigerians are confused.
Okay, so I think the issue there is the reportage. And I say this a lot when I get asked this question, is that when it comes to that, a lot of that blame relies solely on the media. Because the media is responsible for reporting facts and not responsible for reporting what people want to hear. Now, when you look at the analysis of the cost, you will find out that the primary determinant of refined product cost is the crude oil itself and not really the landing cost, because the landing cost is not that significant in the total cost. Of course, those who are within the private refinery, the narrative suits them, so they will ride along the crest of the wave, I mean, they're capitalists. They will ride along the quest of wealth. But it is incumbent upon those who are responsible for giving out the information to ensure that they are dealing out facts. Because there are people I've spoken to and they'll say, well, that's what is available to me. And then the question I always ask is that, what happened to investigative journalism? What happened to asking questions?
So you said that the real issue here is the crude itself, that is where the cost is. But the crude is from here.
Significant cost element is.
But the crude is from Nigeria. So how does that contribute as a major quarter to the cost?
The crude in Nigeria doesn't mean it's free. It's not free.
So basically, are you saying that this problem is self-imposed?
That's what you are saying.
No, I'm asking.
What I'm saying, no, that is what you are saying. What I'm saying is that the crude has a price. Crude oil has a price. The crude oil does not jump out of the ground. Billions are spent into drilling and operations. And so there is a price for the crude oil to be sold.
So how come, I'm sorry, I'm trying to really understand this, because when Nigeria wasn't refining, at least, we didn't have the likes of Dangote Refinery, which of course is public knowledge, and, refining in this, locally, at this capacity, the price was down. The narrative was, landing cost, the crude has to be taken out, processed outside, brought back in, all of that cost put together, plus the exchange rate, contributed significantly to the pump price. But right now that everything is localized, the price has gone up. So as a Nigerian like myself, I'm confused.
You don't need to be confused. What I'm saying is that if you were part of those that wrote that narrative, you were passing the wrong information to people.
So help me understand the right information.
There is not, see, look, this is a technical industry, and the information, the devil is in the details. It is incumbent also when somebody tells you the landing cost, you are supposed to ask, what are the parameters that make up the landing cost? And when you get the parameters that make up the landing cost, you should be able to put figures to those costs. And from there, you will see what figures is responsible for what.
Okay, can I ask you, what are the parameters that make up the landing cost?
That you will find that on the website of the NNPCL. I mean, the NNPCL.
This is where I'm going. Mr. Olabode. Right now, please. Nigerians are asking, what's now the point of refining locally? When we were importing, the price was lower. Why don't you just go back to importing the product?
So, like I said, nobody moves forward based on ignorance.
So that is why you are here, to help us understand.
Hold on, I'm speaking. Just allow me to land.
Okay.
You get forward on based on ignorance. You need to understand the reasons, the causative factors that are causing the increase. You can't just say the price was lower 1 month ago. What was the exchange rate of the naira to the dollar 1 month ago? This is an international product. It is a commodity. Because it is a commodity, the prices of crude oil, it doesn't matter whether we produce it locally or not, has a standard price. Even if you are going to sell it in naira, you are going to sell it in naira at the exchange rate of the international pricing. So it's not so the fact that it's produced locally, you need to know what factors that is an advantage to. That is not going to make it cheaper. If you are going to put it cheaper, then somebody is going to bear that cost, and then that is subsidy again. So my point is that the narrative was that way because the journalism, the reportage of that narrative was not properly interrogated. And that is...
I'm sorry, you keep talking about the journalism. Journalists get their source of information even from the source itself, government officials, those in charge. And the narrative then was if we had local refining, at least the price should come down. But, I mean, from your analysis, you've said that it's an international arrangement. So the picture you are painting for Nigeria right now is that in the scheme of things, Nigeria is helpless in determining the price, and that maybe Nigerians should expect the price to go up even further in the future. Is that the case now?
Well, first of all, let me speak to the first thing. as a journalist, one of your responsibilities is to ensure.
And that is why you are on this program. You keep saying, as a journalist, you are meant to enlighten us.
Do you want to be the one talking? You have asked me.
I've given you the opportunity to talk, but you keep diverting the issues back to me.
To talk. You are not. See, look, you have invited
in
me
bullet points. Can you state the issues, please?
If you don't want to hear me, we can end this discussion. But if you want me to talk, you have no right to be interrupting me when I'm talking.
Because you are not eating the issues. That is why I keep interrupting you. You are not talking to the issues. You keep merry-go-rounding and diverting from the issues and turning it back to journalists. That's why we have experts like you to enlighten the public. Please, in bullet points, what are the issues?
You will not teach me how to talk. You will not teach me how to talk. You will listen. And if you don't want to listen, we can end the conversation. You have asked your question. Let me land. It is barbarians that talk in thousands. Let me land. Then you ask further questions. But you cannot keep interrupting me when I'm talking. You raised a point. You said that you get your information from the sources of the information. And I said that that is not enough. One of the responsibilities of journalism, which you find out in the university where it is taught, is the fact that they must report facts. Simply because a government official has said something does not mean you should not interrogate it. And that's the point I wanted to raise it there. The second part of it, which is also critically important, is that there are parameters that determine the prices of the finished product that are not within the circle of influence of Nigerians, because it is market forces. And one of those things is the naira to the dollar exchange. And as long as there is a fluctuation in the price between the naira and the dollar, that fluctuation is going to affect the final price of the product. Those are the issues on the matter.
Thank you for your time on the program, Mr. Olabode Sowunmi, Chairman, Energy Transition Study Group, NGA. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, you had him. And that's a wrap on today's show. In case you missed out, you can, of course, catch up on our YouTube platform. That's News Central TV. You can also follow us across social media. The same handle, News Central Television. My name is Dakwadi Boy. Until I see you tomorrow, good night.